So, have you ever experienced the dark night of the soul? Hmm, I have. The seemingly never-ending void of energy, love, peace, and light. Hmm. Stay with me. Let's see what this really means. Hi, everybody. It's Lori from Numerology with Lori. Please like and subscribe, and please click the bell icon drop down to and change it to all, not personalized. Thanks. So, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this dark night of the soul, this section of time where we have this void period of life. I mean, that's what it's really about. Yeah, this is another kind of reference video, but it's a little more specific to maybe spiritual growth. So let's see. So, with this void period of life, all doors and windows seem to be closed. There, you alternate between bliss and misery. It's a place between worlds. So it's not really living in this happy area or just normal area, but it's living between worlds. That's the best way to describe it. Um, you've closed out one chapter and you're not quite beginning the next chapter. And interesting. That's really interesting. So you've healed the past, but you're not quite ready to fly. You feel stuck. I hate that feeling. So this is kind of part of your spiritual awakening journey. Go figure. Nothing seems to happen. There are no results. There's so when you it I always refer to it as the two steps forward, one step back result. So it's like you could go forward a little bit and think, okay, I'm good. I'm good. And then all of a sudden, you're kind of back to square one, or at least back to a section of time where you weren't ready for that. So your wishes and desires don't manifest as easily. No opportunities. You're kind of on an alone track. So again, this usually follows that dark night of the soul when we're just unsure of the dark night of the soul is really to me it's a time where we just feel hopeless. Again, it's this nothing is manifesting, nothing, we don't even think of manifesting, but this void that happens after the dark night of the soul can lead to this feeling of being stuck more and disoriented. You feel disoriented and sort of beat down. I just went through this and I'll share this. I had hip surgery, normal hip replacement. I figured I would do this after I retired, done. And oh man, I wound up with three hip surgeries. First one failed. Second one was okay, but they thought there was infection because the incision wasn't healing. Boom, 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 boom. I've been on an antibiotic. So to me, that was a dark period. And I'm just coming out of that now. So now I'm in this kind of void period where I'm kind of contemplating what I want to do and where I'm going with things. I feel pretty positive about it, I will say to you. And I do waffle between that bliss and misery. So I feel really good about it and then I feel bad about it. So it's time. That's what it takes you. And it takes you willingness to sit with this energy. That's important. That's really important. So it doesn't mean nothing is happening. Keep that in your mind. It doesn't mean that nothing is happening because something is happening. We just don't see it as easily. We're just not. Sometimes you have to physically make yourself do something, which is normal. That's very normal, especially right after the dark night of the soul period. This void period can be short or it can be long. It can be whatever you let it be. But it's important to remember that you're growing in your spirituality and you are you're feeling like even if you feel like nothing is happening, remember that it is. So that's important to know. So you will little by little get your energy back. You'll feel like you're resting your soul. That's what it comes down to. You're resting your soul. And it's true. It's very true. You are resting your soul. You'll get your energy back, and pretty soon you'll see a growth and a transformation inside of you. That's wonderful. Mm, mm. You might feel bored. You might feel restless. These are all things that could happen right after that void or in during that void period. Go within. What you need for the next stage of your journey is to go within. It's not outside of you. It's just not. And I think you know that. I think there's a part of you that recognizes that I have to stop. I have to embrace this energy. So I think I have it written down here, and I'm just going to continue with this a second. So get to know who you are on a deeper level. So that means, again, meditation. It might be journaling. It might be just mm, talking to yourself, talking out loud. Again, journaling is wonderful, but some people can't journal all the time. So talking to yourself, if you're by yourself, who cares? If you're with other people, who cares? But I understand the change. I understand the need for that, for not doing that. So one of the things that bothered me was that I didn't see any synchronicities. I didn't I didn't accept guidance from my spirit guides. I stopped for a little while seeing these repeating numbers that I used to see all the time, and I'm now seeing again, which my friend Marla can tell you. I text her all the time with them. Oh, look at that. We got 111. So my dreams stopped. Uh, there was a silence, a stillness, even a darkness, but I didn't see it as darkness. I saw it as because I don't tend to be a depressed kind of person. So when I recognized that there was something off, that there was a stillness and a silence, in looking that up, I recognize it now. Yeah, there may have been a darkness there. I was in a bad, that dark night of the soul. Um, and I think that happens to a lot of us. I think it's really important to recognize that you're not abnormal, that it can get better, and you're doing it. That's important. It's happening to you. So you're being trained to go within. Identify your intuition, the sound of your intuition. That's one thing that I recognized is that my intuition came silently. It came in, it was a smooth transition. That's all I can say, smooth. And that's the picture that I get, this wave. Um, I don't know. But that was one thing that I learned to do. I learned to recognize the feel, not so much the sound, but more the feel of my intuition. Some of us recognize the sound. With me, I guess I learned to recognize more the feel. So it prepared me. It prepared me um, to change. That's the main thing. So so remember, and this is something that I read recently, a butterfly can't be strong without the caterpillar phase. That's where you are. That's what the dark night of the soul is. It's the butter or the caterpillar phase. It makes perfect sense. And afterwards, we're all going to become butterflies. Let's make it through this together. So, one of the things that I want you to remember, and this is really important, when we go about life and we're doing life on a regular basis, the way society has taught us, we're operating on what's called masculine energy. It's a moving energy. It doesn't stop. We don't know how to make it stop, to be honest, but it's a masculine energy. So being still, going through this dark night of the soul is really not anything to be afraid of. It's feminine energy that is, and if you're resistant to it, like I was, you're going to feel more it might happen to you. Um, like with me, I recognize now that these three surgeries that I had were because I was being resistant to the feminine energy. Instead, I was trying to move when I shouldn't have been. I shouldn't have been. I should have been accepting that I was unable to move. And it was okay. It was okay. I was healing, you know? So the good thing about it is that you start to feel this abundant and creative energy. So seeing nothing, again, doesn't mean that nothing is happening. So even seeing nothing when you're in that dark night of the soul doesn't mean that nothing's happening. It means this feminine energy might be taking over and you're learning to deal with life as a woman, as it's a completely different energy. It's more matriarchal than patriarchal. So that's interesting. Embrace the void. It's extremely, extremely important for your soul's growth and evolution. That's where we are right now. So thanks so much for joining me, and I hope you guys got something out of that. It really helped me to write it. So, and to research it. So I'm hoping that it helps somebody here. So thanks very much. Take care. Let's talk soon.